Hi, it's Teresa from Dodge Nature Center, and time for another Nature to Go. Have you ever been outside at night when suddenly there's a bright streak of light across the sky? You just saw a shooting star maybe, but they aren't really stars falling from the sky. They're actually rocks. Yeah, they're space rocks, and we can look for them right here on Earth. Now, scattered throughout space, where the Earth orbits the Sun, there are leftover bits of asteroids and comets, which are made up of space rocks. Now, scientists call these meteoroids. The pieces can be large or small, and if these space rocks get close enough to Earth, they push through the air surrounding the planet. The pieces warm up and they begin to glow, and then they may burn up. So when people see them, they call them shooting stars, but they're actually meteors. At other times, some of these space rocks pass through the atmosphere without burning up, and they land somewhere on Earth. Now they're called meteorites. And just like rocks on Earth, meteorites can come in different colors and textures. They can be brown or red, gray or black. They can be smooth or rough, or shiny, or even metallic. They can be huge, enormous. This is the Willemite meteorite, one of the largest in North America. But most meteorites are small, even tiny, and scientists estimate that each day thousands of these small meteorites land on Earth. It's hard to find them because they land on the oceans and then they sink out of sight. Or they land at the North and South Pole where there aren't as many people, and the people there usually have other things to do besides looking for meteorites. But scientists have now started looking for a special group of meteorites, ones that are so tiny they call these micrometeorites. Micrometeorites are sort of like space dust. They fall from the sky and they land everywhere. And that's what you can look for to find your own space rocks. The best place to look for micrometeorites are on flat roofs. But it's not always safe or easy to get there. So the next best place is to look in cracks in sidewalks and parking lots, or at the end of drain pipes, anywhere where debris gathers. Meteorites that we're going to be looking for are magnetic. So what you'll need as far as equipment to find these is first off, a very strong magnet, a neodymium magnet. You'll also want a Post-it note because you'll want the sticky side, and you'll like a magnifying glass, and then a plastic bag. So tie a string to the magnet so that you can easily drag this on the ground, in the cracks, in these places where debris will collect. And when you pick up the magnet, you'll see there's all kinds of stuff stuck to the magnet. Now, most of it is just stuff that was left behind from here on Earth, bits of metal from things that are here. Take that magnet and brush it onto the sticky part of the Post-it note so that it's held in place. And then use your magnifying glass to look very carefully at this debris that's left behind. How do you know if it's a micrometeorite? Well, there's 4 characteristics that you're looking for. First off, the stuff has to be magnetic. Secondly, it's going to be a small, round ball. Third, it's shiny. And then fourth, when I say they're small, these are teeny tiny little balls that you're looking for. I mean, they are called micro after all. If the objects you're looking at don't have all 4 characteristics, then they're not probably micrometeorites. We've done this activity with kids in camp for several years now, and while we haven't actually found any micrometeorites, we found a lot of interesting materials that get stuck to the magnet. If you find something you really like, then you can stick it in your plastic bag and you've got a cool sample. But keep trying. Collect samples in different locations. Collect samples after it rains. Collect samples when it's snowed. Maybe wintertime's going to be a better time for this. But keep looking, and maybe someday you'll be lucky and you'll find your very own micrometeorite. You found your very own piece of space. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Nature to Go, and we'll talk to you again next time.